Hey, how's it going, guys? This is John Armour here with She Got Game. I'm here with the lovely Ezinne Kalu. How's everything going? The Nigerian princess. How are you?
Everything is going great. Thank you.
Good man, good man.
And it's Nigerian queen. Okay, period.
For sure, man. Before we hop into the actual your actual basketball history and who you are as a person and stuff. Just give the people back at home a little background, where you're from, stuff like that. So we know you're from New Jersey, born and raised. You know what I mean? Jersey strong.
hmm
Which part of New Jersey did you grow up in?
I grew up in Newark, New Jersey, on 17th Street and 18th Ave, right down the street from South 17th Street School.
Nice, 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 nice. If you're from Jersey, you know exactly what she's talking about.
hmm
North Jersey specifically, but at what age did you begin getting involved in sports, let alone basketball? Just like when did you begin and begin getting active?
hmm I believe I started getting active maybe like second grade.
Oh, young.
Um, at first I didn't want to get into athletics because I was calling myself being super girly. I didn't want to be involved in anything where I had to sweat or stay after school. But after I see my friends started to play sports, that's when I knew, okay, cool, maybe it's something I can do. Third grade, second grade was the first time I actually picked up the basketball, and
Nice.
it just stuck with me ever since.
All right, I was gonna say,
hmm
anyone or anything who inspired you to pick up a basketball, like from just being athletic and be like, ooh, I kind of like this. Was there any?
Um, Honestly, no. Like the inspiration didn't really come until after I started playing basketball. But before I started playing, I wasn't really watching or I haven't really seen any women playing at that time.
Mm,
That really didn't come into play until I actually picked up a ball, and my coach started introducing me to women that were playing. He started showing me games where I actually see women in the game hooping, like balling.
mhm,
And that's definitely sort of where the inspiration come. Already playing, and then wanting to get better, and then watching those players.
mm. What would you say? I was about to say because like I feel like that's where a lot of it starts with what you take in, what are you watching. And I
hmm
guess it was hard back then because it's a different game now. Like the women game has evolved and it's
Yeah,
it's grown crazy. However, back then, it was very limited. You might have had, I guess, Lisa Leslie. Like you didn't have much. It was like one or three
didn't
players.
have much. I
So
had Tia Bonds, the Epiphany Prince, Mattia Javons, Cappy Pondexter, those who I grew up watching. The
nice.
girls from the Rutgers getting it straight out the mud.
I was about to say that's the OGs right there. What part of your game would you say came the most natural to you?
The defense, for sure. I've always been a defensive player. I love defense. It's my favorite part of the game. And I think the defense came so natural because you don't need you don't need talent for defense.
All effort.
You just need heart. You
Yeah.
just need energy. You just need dedication. You just need the will to be like, all right, cool, I'm gonna lock up. I'm not gonna let this person score. And I think that became my favorite part of the game because I knew my energy, people feed it off that. So if I'm hyped, I'm pumped. I already know my teammates hyped and pumped. And boy, I love a good full court press. Trapping, I love that. Locking up full court, 94 feet. Like I'm into all that. And that came natural for me because I had this mentality that I'm locking anybody up. Even if I know you the best ball handler in the world, in my mind, because I love defense so much, I'm gonna try to stop you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that definitely took me a long way with my career.
I was gonna say, man, a lot of defensive mindset players, and so that's kind of, I feel like that's the common theme. Like whether they,
Mhm.
because at some point you're playing the best players in the world, people are gonna score. It is what it is.
Exactly.
You're gonna get scored on, but it's just a matter of being relentless, being that junkyard dog, and just keep coming back. Like you said,
hmm
and that's pretty cool to hear, man. That's pretty cool. So
Thank you.
you're real scrappy. You're real scrappy.
Yes, exactly.
Nice, man. Would you say is there anyone you've ever modeled your game after, or like guy or girl, WNBA, college, whatever the case is?
Yes. I used to when I was playing in Germany a couple of years ago, probably like maybe 4 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
I used to always tell myself I play like Kimber Walker. Because he just has, and I know that's very rare to hear because Kimber Walker not just a player that anybody picks,
Yeah.
but I watched him a couple times. I'm just like, is he playing like me or I'm playing like him? So we're not identical, but there's some aspects in his game that I clearly kind of like brought to my game without even like realizing it. And it just comes from me watching him subconsciously liking the moves he do or how he guard and the energy he bring. And I just found myself doing the same thing that he was doing in the game. I found myself doing those same things in practices, like the hezzy or the stop and go or, the spin move or locking up on defense. Like those type of things I watched. And yeah, Kemba Walker was definitely a player I looked after. Kobe Bryant is my favorite player, and obviously, I've definitely watched his game.
Mm-hmm.
But on times when I wasn't able to always watch Kobe, I definitely locked into Kemba Walker or Cappy Pondexter.
Gabby Pondex,
Yeah,
she definitely
yeah,
man. She crawls for a lot of people who walk.
exactly.
Pondex was one of those ones, man. So okay, cool. That's amazing. I love to hear it because you had a mixture. So you did follow,
Yeah.
women's and you were following it. That's actually really cool. At what point in your career? So here she got game. We call it the she got game moment, right?
Hmm.
Here we want to speak about when did you transition to know? Okay, this is like I'm the real deal of basketball. When was your she got game moment?
My She Got Game moment was my full scholarship to Savannah State, my full college scholarship. Because, like, growing up, you think about going to college and stuff like that, but you never really know you got to pay for college. Like, that's just, it is what it is. And, being where I'm from, if from Newark, New Jersey, my mother not about to pay for college. Like, my mother don't have 75,000 a year or a semester to be paying. And we talk about two semesters within a year, fall and spring. It is spring and then fall again. So once I got that full basketball scholarship to Savannah State, I knew, okay, I must be pretty good. Like I'm putting the work in. I would put the work in growing up. I put the work in high school. I've been in gym rat all my high school career. This is my moment. I went on my visit. I went on my official visit to Savannah State. The day I went, it was homecoming, and Shannon Sharp was there.
O'Shea
So they
Sharp.
just, yeah, and he went to Savannah State. Me and him actually have the same birthday.
Yeah.
So when I went there on my visit, it was like I had the time of my life. And I'm like, if they show me this type of love here, and I'm 13 hours away from home, this is where I need to be. I'm like, I must really got some game if this guy's willing to pay me a full scholarship of 4 years just to come and hoop, And I'm like, yeah, this is it. The next day I got the letter of intent in the mail, signed it, FedEx that thing right back, and a
Nice.
couple months later I was packing my bags to head to college.
Amazing. That's amazing. You finally got to see, your work and all the stuff.
Exactly.
That's great. That's great, man. So not, I guess not fast forward. So you mentioned you're already kind of college and your process through that. Let's
Hmm.
people don't know. So you went to Science Park High School, right there.
Yes.
And people don't know. Not only were you the first woman to score not 1,000, 2,000 points, right? Two
Hmm.
thousand points, which is crazy. Then on top of that, from what the reports and stuff I've read, they retired your jersey while you were still playing. If that's which is wild, which is very
Yes.
unheard of. But apparently they pretty much retired your jersey while still playing. Then on top of that, you went to college and also just ran it back with another 2,000. So my question to you is, man, like, so first let's start with high school. Let's stick with high school. How much does that mean to you? Like like you said, you putting in all this work and stuff, and getting your jersey retired while you're playing, and being the first woman to ever score 2,000. What does that mean to your basketball legacy? Like, what's going through your head?
Yeah, that was to find that out, I was shocked for starters because I'm thinking, okay, this school has been built for years, basketball been around for years. This has never happened before. So to know I was the first one was like a very humbling and a blessing in both. Because first of all, 2,000 points is a lot. And, to be
That,
able to, yeah, to be able to do something like that, it was just like, honestly, it was, my mentality was just go hard every game,
okay.
regardless of the points, regardless of what you do, just go out there and give 100% because you never know the outcome.
Mhm.
And when I found out I had scored my 2,000 point, I was like I was I couldn't even, it was, there was no words to describe how I was feeling because that's just not something that really happens, especially in high school.
Mhm.
And it was an amazing feeling. It was very humbling to see my jersey hanging up, and you know nobody is gonna wear 23 ever again at that school. So it was just like it was an amazing, to go there and to be able to meet the girls and talk to the girls and sign my jersey, while everybody was there was just an amazing and unforgettable experience. And I'm happy I just get to go to the school whenever I want and see my jersey hanging up. Or go to the game and see the girls and, be able to talk to them because I know what they're going through and I know what it takes to honestly play on the next level.
Mhm.
And the college one, that hit different because now I'm an adult.
Yeah.
Now I'm like I'm smelling myself now. I know I'm good. I know I worked hard to get where I am.
Yeah.
And to know that again that I'm the first one to score 2,000 points at an all black school
Huge.
was just like wow. Like they probably gonna put me in one of the little history books.
Yeah.
And I definitely was speechless at that moment because they brought me a whole ball out. They gave me a big trophy, and they showed me mad love at the school. And the game where I scored, they stopped the game, and it was just it's an amazing feeling to be celebrated for something that you really love doing, and to know that regardless of what you gonna go, I'm gonna go hard.
For sure. For sure. So
Yeah.
just to clarify, so people at home, there are
Hmm.
people who play 4 years, and they're happy to get to 1,000. A
Hmm.
thousand's okay, but I don't like people have to understand like that. We're talking like averages, like on a bad night, on the losses, you were getting probably 40, 45 a game. Like 2,000 is unreal, bro. That means you had a couple
Hmm.
60 point nights. Like
Mhm.
people
I
don't.
did actually, it's crazy. I did have a couple 50, 40 point nights. And I actually finished at science with 1,996. So I was almost at 2,200. I needed 4 more points.
Crazy, man. Like, but just to, bro, just to even like for people at home, that's no like play. Like, I love Kyrie Irving. I love some of the great. They didn't do that. Like, they didn't get 2,000. You know what I mean? Like, it's tough. It's
Hmm.
a lot tougher than people think. So, just for people at home, it's you know what I mean. That's legit. But just to transition a little bit, man. Like you said, you grew up in Newark, New Jersey, right?
Hmm.
Listen, we know how Newark is. You know what I mean? It's a different. We know how it is. It's gritty. It's it's everyone. You know what I mean? You gotta be a certain way to make it out of these spots. It's a different type
Hmm.
of mentality you have, right? Obviously being different. You committed to Savannah State and you went down to Georgia. What was the difference of that atmosphere a little bit? Like again, being at a HBCU,
Yeah.
like it's got to be a very different atmosphere. So, what does that look like, and how did that play into who we know as Ezinne Kalu is today?
Hmm. Well, and it's crazy you asked me that because a lot of people be like, "You went all the way to Georgia? You went away from home?"
Mm-hmm.
And 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 I feel like I've always been a homebody, but I'm really great at dealing with adversity and being away from home. And I think that me driving 13 hours and being away from I needed that to get away from what I was used to. And now I put myself in a position where I gotta face adversity and now become comfortable where I am.
Mm-hmm.
And going to Savannah State for starters was an amazing experience. HBCU, I seen people that look like me. All my professors look like me. I always had help and access to the things I need if I had any issues. It was literally a home away from home. And, being able to, be that far from home and still have that comfortability of my coaches, being there for me, my teammates being there for me, some of the students who I made friends with being there for me. It was just a no-brainer that I was in the right spot. And I love the fact that when I left from high school to go to college, the transition on the court didn't really change much because I always knew how to go. It was just a matter of now playing with other players who also knew how to go. Because when you're in college, everybody can play. Yeah. Everybody them, had a 40-point games in high school. Now I'm dealing with players who actually know how to play. And I think I needed that too because I was coming from a team where I played every position. Yeah, you just at science, from 1 to 5. And it's not because I had to, because not many people was coming to science. Everybody was going to like the Shabazz universities because those places had greater chance of you going to a really big school. So the transition from high school to basketball, it wasn't so much had to do with like talent and me being able to, find my identity. It's about now gelling with other players who could go like me or who probably was a little better than me, being as I was a freshman. And it all worked out. I did the same thing I did in high school. I stayed in the gym after practice and before practice. I became a gym rat. Days when we didn't have practice, I'll still be in the gym because that's all I know. That's all I knew. In order for me to keep my scholarship, I gotta hoop. I gotta play ball. And my freshman year, my first game, I had 31 points. Crazy. And yeah, it's crazy. But my second game, I had 18 points. Okay. And that humbled me. Because let me say, not because every game I got to score 31 points. Yeah. It's because I wasn't giving the full maximum effort I should be giving every game. The same effort I gave that 31-point game, I should have gave that next game. Gotcha. And I did that because we wasn't playing against a big school. I'm thinking, okay, we playing against another small school. I don't really got to go hard. No. And as the years, I learned that my freshman year, my scoring was so inconsistent. 31, 5, 35, 10, 40, 4, 18. Like it was so inconsistent because I was always playing down to other people's level and not giving my 100% effort. So my sophomore year, I just went full force again. Every game I took like it was personal. Like somebody done caught up, like somebody done talk about my mama. And the transition became a lot better because now I became a consistent player. Not only did I become a consistent player, but everything about me was becoming consistent. My habits, getting up faithfully on time without being tired, making it to practice on time, or being able to do my school project and still, bust it to the gym for an hour to get the work in after I'm done. So it kind of what I was doing in basketball really helped me along the way throughout the years of growing as a college student athlete, but also as a student of the game and a student being in the HBCU and being able to get the full experience.
I was gonna say, I mean, look, I don't know you. I don't know you outside of this or prior, right? But from what I've seen, you take it and you embrace the Niger. You call it Nigerian queen.
Oh yes.
And again, you know where we're from. People get treated differently. People, you get laughed at for stuff like that. Did the HBCU atmosphere help you embrace that, or like kind of find more people like you and find people with similarities? Like, how did that help you shape into who you are outside of basketball?
Well, the Nigerian Queen came about when I started playing with the junior national Nigerian team. Dope. Not too many people know this, but before I was with the senior Olympic team, I started with the younger girls. My sophomore year in college, I got selected to play with the junior national team, and we were tough. Like we got a bid to go play in Chile and everything, but we had lack of funding. Okay. But that's how the Nigerian Queen name came about once I started with the younger team. Okay. But me having that name and me being on campus, it was like, who that's Nigerian. It became like my tag. Because okay, let's be real. Ezinne is very hard to pronounce for some people, and it's very hard for people to remember sometimes. So I'm like, what's a name I can give myself that people can remember, and the name hit? And I'm like, the Nigerian Queen. I'm Nigerian. I treat myself like a queen. I want people to treat me like a queen. It just goes hand in hand, and that's how I got the Nigerian Queen name. And it just, I kind of stuck with that because it became my identity on the court and off the court. People was calling me Nigerian Queen for 3. And then I get off campus, I see somebody at the grocery store, and they're like, "Oh, hey, Nigerian queen." So it kind of like the way how the identity kind of warped itself together was just it was dead on, and I'm happy I was able to, like, just kind of find like something for myself that I can keep dear to me, and people will remember me about. And then it kind of sucks a little bit because now don't nobody really know my real name. They just know me Nigerian queen. So that's the downfall to it. But I'm happy that I kind of like created just a space or a brand for myself where it'll have longevity. You know what I mean?
Of course. Yeah, no, man, that's sick. That's super sick, man. I mean, it seems like college shaped you a lot, like your
Yeah.
basketball and your personal life as well. Um, I have a question because you have so many accolades through college and through high school, right? So I'm
Hmm.
assuming college here. Which of the two accolades meant more to your basketball or meant more to you? Winning the MEAC, which is hard. You won the
Hmm.
MEAC, or scoring pretty much scoring in the 2000 again. Because not only it's hard
Hmm.
to do it once, bro. It's hard to do it once.
But twice,
Yeah, you doubled it up. Which one? So out of the two, what would you say? Which one meant more to you?
I will for sure say the MEAC championship.
Championship. Okay.
I won that. I won that my last year at Savannah State, and it was bitter. That was bittersweet for a couple reasons. I had tore my ACL.
Oof, okay.
Yeah, so I got surgery and got my year back.
Nice. Okay.
And then some of the girls that was with me, that was their first championship ever, like their whole career, even from high school. Mine too. I didn't win a championship in high school at all.
You didn't win in science.
No, we didn't win a championship at all at science.
That's big.
No.
That's big. That's big.
So, to win the MEAC, and for that, my head coach, that was his first time winning MEAC too.
Oh,
So
so
it was with it being everybody's first time, and with me come back from a major injury, and with us, really bringing, like, putting Savannah State on the map, an amazing feeling. And to be in the locker room screaming, popping the champagne, and like watching over the game and being able to watch film and see how good we played, and it was just that was the best feeling. That was the best feeling ever. And even before that, even like that, yeah, that was the MEAC was my first championship ever.
that's gotta
Like, I
be.
got little championships playing like AAU ball and small fry, but on a collegiate level, that was my first championship. And yeah, I still got the ring to this day. The ring ceremony was amazing. And
I bet.
even some of my teammates still talk about it. Like, sometimes I still get the memories on Facebook that pop up. So yeah, that was definitely one of the best moments.
Fire. Fire. I love it, man. I didn't know you didn't win at science. That's so surprising, but that's
Yeah, no. We just wasn't equipped enough.
that.
Like, we definitely had the skills. We just needed one more person who could go, like, to really,
Yep.
seal the deal.
Team winning. I've learned over the years, winning is a team stat. Like
It
you can
is.
best play, but winning is it's low key a little luck. It's the right team. It's the right move. It
Mm-hmm.
takes a lot of things to go right. So
Mm-hmm.
after college, you mentioned you play, or sophomore, you actually started getting into playing overseas and playing for the national team. But after
Mm-hmm.
college, you started to play pro overseas, right?
Yeah.
How much different is that from from all of it, from college ball, from ball in the states? Like I know because we've heard Luca speak about, we've heard
Mm-hmm.
several guys, Manu, and we've heard American players come over and say, "Listen, it's a different game." In your
Mm-hmm.
opinion, what ways is it different from playing over here in the states?
A couple ways is different. I would say the style of the game is different.
Okay.
When you're in Europe, my first year playing was in Portugal, and my first year was okay. I had a couple moments where it was tough, and I was like, "No, I want to go home," but I stuck it out. Game wise, the game was different. Europeans are real methodical. Everything about them they do with intentions. And coming from college, when I'm in college, I was playing methodical ball, but I was also playing street ball
It's a little
because
different.
that was in me. So when I started playing overseas, they wanted European ball, but they wanted more of street ball from me, coming from a player who they signed to help make their team a difference.
The bucket, yeah.
Exactly. And with me being pro my first year, they looked to the American to make all the decisions. So I had a lot more freedom and leeway my first year,
Gotcha.
which means the shots I was taking overseas, that one have flew when I was at Savannah State. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So just as far as that was different, the game wise was different. I had a lot more responsibility overseas to like really put up the buckets because that's what they brought me here to do. Ultimately, I mean, you didn't want me to play defense, you didn't want me to be a team player, but Kalu, we need you to come in and help us score the ball. Like, please, you're American, we're European. Bring what you can bring. Um, yeah. Now the other difference was, being away from home, and I say this a lot because I'm happy I went to Savannah State because being away from home has prepared me for being away from home again on a professional level. Now we're not talking about stateside. I can't just drive 13 hours to be home. I gotta take a flight, probably get on a boat, all that. But I think college definitely prepared me for being away from home and being able to kind of be in situations where I don't have anybody and I gotta like try to just learn to adapt to my surroundings. And that was pretty cool because I'm in Portugal, times where I didn't have practice out, just go walk around, sightsee, just really get that culture while I'm out there, just really try to meet people. I did have crazy moments where, there was racist people at the games and, or at the restaurant. I definitely, it wasn't always sweet, but I didn't let anything deter me for what I wanted to do. My second year, I went back to Portugal to a better team this time, and again, it was a lot. It was pretty much the same, bringing that fire part of the game to the European basketball, and playing for coaches, and just the freedom I had out there was different. I didn't have nobody to tell me to wake me up for practice on time. I didn't have nobody to text me say, "Hey, cool, make sure you're in the gym getting them extra shots." I didn't have those things I had in college. I was an adult now, so I gotta make myself go to the gym, put the extra work in. I gotta give myself more time to, I don't have nobody here. My coach is here telling me, "Hey, do what you gotta do." And yeah, I mean, just the game wise, the preparation wise, the recovery wise, everything was different, but also not different because I was already in a space where I knew how to adapt to adversity.
Dope. Dope. Yeah.
Mhm.
Help you build for your future. That's sick. That's sick.
Exactly.
That's sick, man. So just to fast forward a little, outside of just playing overseas, so I guess for
Mhm.
national time and FIBA and stuff like that, you joined Nigeria national team, and I believe
Yes.
that was in 2019. I believe the last one. Your first game happened to be against the USA, right?
Hmm.
Despite the loss, it was a no, like it was tight. It was a tight game, despite the loss.
Hmm.
This is prior to me knowing you, and I think I can speak for everyone else in America. We thought we were gonna wipe the floor. And no, you guys fought. You guys fought, and despite the loss, how much would it have meant for you personally to pull that win out against you? Because that was look. We're talking. Bird was there, I believe. Tia Rossi.
Hmm.
I think Brianna Stewart. Like the team is sick.
Stewart,
Yeah, the
the
team.
Lonely Sisters, they were stacked.
Oh, the team is loaded. So we're talking about the best WNBA players, and y'all was out there. Y'all was going bucket for bucket.
Hmm.
I mean,
Hmm.
what? Obviously, despite the loss, how much would it have meant for you to catch that dub on the USA?
It definitely would have meant a lot. Like I probably would have been on a high for like 2 days straight after that.
Right.
And it's not just because of the players that they have. It's it's about beating a country who's been the best at everything for billions of years. Like and to beat a team like that of that magnitude
Crazy.
would have just been an amazing feeling. We got close, ran out of gas, fourth quarter, and USA, they did what championships team do. They stepped up the last minute, sucked that last couple minutes of gas that they had, and put their foot to the metal. And teams like that, you got to play down to the very last minute. And it was sucks that we lost, but how we played against them, how we fought against them, it made them respect us even more.
Hmm.
And every time I play against teams like USA or France, whatever, I always try to go at them.
Good.
Always. Because naturally, I feel like me personally, you probably got a question about this, but I'm gonna speak on it anyway. Anytime I play against USA, I always go hard against them because naturally I feel like I should be playing with them, not on the USA team, but in the league.
For sure.
And I feel like if I just every time I play against it, if I show what I can bring, or if I show how I can go against some of the greatest players of the world,
Somebody.
then somebody will see me and be like, okay, let's give this girl a chance. Let's invite her to a practice or a film session or just something. But not yet.
Look, you making what you do overseas.
hmm
Nigeria. Look, each path is his own path.
hmm
I'm not. Have you ever spoken or have you built relationships? Like, do you know Tia Rossi and those guys, or not really? Like, are you?
Yeah. No, not personally. I do know a couple of players that are in the league that I have good relationships with that I met that I talked to, but some of the OGs I haven't really spoke to them personally.
Got you.
Like
Okay.
I may have spoken to them in passing or maybe like at like a cafe when we have like the tournaments where all the teams are together.
Got you.
But I don't know anybody personally. There was a situation where me and Sue Bird kind of got into like a little back and forth match with some words, but it was nothing ugly. It was nothing like malicious or things like that, or
Basketball.
nothing. Yeah, nothing like nothing hateful or things like that. But it was just competitive basketball that happens when you
Yeah.
when you compete on the court. But
Basketball.
no, I haven't met anybody personally, but I do talk to them in passing from time to time. I'll speak, say hey, things like that.
Got you. I mean, look, man, it's about respect. As long as they, I
hmm
mean, they may not know you personally, but again, they probably remember that face. They remember that style.
Yeah.
I mean, so that counts, man. But just wanna talk about your impact on basketball or how basketball has impacted you, right?
hmm
If you could have it your way, right? What would Ezinne Kalu's basketball legacy be when you're over? What do you want to be remembered as? How do you want to be remembered as?
hmm that's a tough question, but I do want to be inducted to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, you do. Yeah,
Yeah, I really do. Whether it's for my school or just for the state of New Jersey. I've seen a couple of my fellow colleagues get inducted already, so hopefully my letter will come soon. Yeah, that's how I want to end my legacy. I want to be interested in the Hall of Fame, and I want to give back somehow. Build a gym, build a YMCA, just build a facility where kids can still have access to what I did growing up. Because like when I go home now, the young ladies I see playing basketball, they don't have access to gyms or to multiple coaches or facilities where they can get better. I had that growing up. There were so many gyms open. There were so many coaches I could go to. There were so many teams I could play for to get better. And I don't. They're probably out there, but when I go home, I don't really see that. So I would love to maybe build a building or like a small boys and girls center, for specifically for athletics. There'll be an area in the building for students, for after school program and things like that. But I really want to build something that's gonna have a long lasting effects on athletes who want to come up and play.
mm,
Whether it's an academy or a boys and girls club where kids can come and learn the fundamentals of basketball and kind of grow from there. I just want to be remembered as somebody who just gave 100% to the game of basketball, and the game of basketball gave 100% back to me.
I love that. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I was gonna say, man, yeah. That actually leads me into kind of the transition of the game. Like again, back then when you were playing, I don't
hmm
know how many people you went to school with, but I'm pretty sure you could count on a number of your hand how many girls were playing basketball or even interested. Now it's a bit
hmm
oversaturated on the boys and girls side. There's 1,000 people wanting to play. There's limited coaches because of 1,000 people wants to play and stuff. So I wanted to ask you. I mean, while it seems a bitter, it seems to be a bittersweet kind of situation because yes, the game is the game is elevated, the game has grown
hmm
like when you were playing and stuff in the beginning, right? However, it has its pros and cons. How much does it mean to you to be a part and to actually watch the game shift and transition in real time? Because I'm pretty, you've seen where it was nothing. It was about five
Yeah.
women, a lot of empty seats and stuff. I'm pretty sure when you play
Mm-hmm.
versus now, you'll get gangs of people who actually
Mm-hmm.
down and watch girls and women's basketball. So, how much does that mean to you to be a part of it and be in the middle of the shift and transition?
Yeah, it definitely means a lot because now I feel like more people are watching and more people are willing to support.
Yep.
Um, I feel like, just being able to see just like you said, the shift and just the growth of the sport, the growth of the game of basketball, and also the growth of the support of the people coming to the games and just, just being there for us, whether it's showing up to the game or buying t-shirts or buying, anything to kind of show that they rocking with us. It's a great thing to see. And I'm happy that I'm in my prime now because even though I'm 30, I still got about maybe 4 more years. Maybe I'll get a husband and have a baby and I'll stop playing. Who knows? But until that time comes,
Gotcha.
I can see myself at least going 4 or 5 more years. And I'm happy that I'm able to see the shift now in the game of basketball and the support from others because that's gonna make my retirement that much sweeter.
No.
Like when I finally reached my peak and I'm like, okay, I can chill now. But look at what I've done. Look at what other girls have done. Look at the support now. The games are packed out. You know, you see commercials on. You see commercials now with women basketball players. It's very rare you see women professional basketball commercials.
Oh my God.
You might see one or two State Farm ones with Sue Bird in them, but you're not really seeing commercials like that. So to see the game of basketball evolving with the women and to see, just mainstream media really taking support of the women's sports now it's a great thing to see.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I was gonna say, man. It's I think it's important, man. I think it's important
Mm-hmm.
for the elevation of the game. As you said, the game of basketball. I was specifically speaking of women, but when you think about it, the whole game has changed.
Mm-hmm.
Every aspect. So I wanna transition because a lot of people don't think like you kind of mentioned. You said you understand where you're at, your age. You understand. Well, you're not old. Nobody
Yeah,
is old, but in basketball world, you
you
know how
cannot play forever.
you can't. It's just how it goes.
Yeah.
And you mentioned you would aim for 4 to 5 more years, hopefully, and
Mm-hmm.
possibly even more. But
Mm-hmm.
I want to transition to life after basketball a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Many don't know. You're much more than a basketball player. Like you do a lot of things. You're an
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneur. You're a model. Model. Yep, 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 yep. Before we get into some of the things you do, what have you found that you really enjoy? Like, what are some of your hobbies outside the game of basketball? Like, if basketball stopped today, it seems like you
Mm-hmm.
in so many pots where you're happy doing.
Yeah.
And that's a luxury because a lot of people are in basketball and don't know what to do with their life.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
if you could go into a little bit of what some of your hobbies and some of the things you're into outside of basketball.
Yeah. Well, one of my favorite hobbies for sure is to eat. like I love Like I love eating. If I wasn't hooping, I would definitely be the guy. What's the guy with like the blonde spiky hair who just travels the world trying all these different foods?
Fury, my boy.
Yeah, if I wasn't hooping, I definitely would be doing that. But outside of that, I love writing. I love modeling. I've been modeling just as long as I've been playing basketball. Being in a runway, being able to, just like model clothes and garments of like women who create these garments by hand is amazing.
Yeah, no.
I just love, being around family and friends, good vibes. My life outside of basketball has definitely, you know, started to take a turn for the greater for like a good turn. After I had got hurt, I was like, damn, like what's next? So, and I always had these other hobbies and talents. I just didn't know how to bring it into my brand. And then I started to figure out ways to do that. Like me, I love eating, but why not show the people, how to whip up a meal one day? I love writing. Why not make a little anonymous blog where people go read my stories? I love modeling. Why not start doing fashion shows and getting gigs here? And everything. And once I started to have the mindset, that's when everything else started to become fruitful. I got booked for. I just had a big fashion show a couple of days ago here in Atlanta.
Sure.
I got booked for a couple photo shoots by major companies. Um, I made a little YouTube channel that I'm gonna like start putting like different episodes out there. I just want to just keep giving fresh content and fresh things that I'm doing outside of basketball. And it's been working in my favor from now on. I also have like a small, not little, I'm gonna say big business because I'm a manifest it. I have a cosmetics business as well that's geared towards my queens, specifically athletic queens. The lipstick that I have is actually sweat proof and waterproof. I came up with this company when I was playing at Savannah State my freshman year.
Nice.
I wore makeup to the game. After the game, I had all my makeup and lipstick all over my jersey. My coach was pissed,
Mhm.
and I'm like, you know what? Why I can't create a makeup where if I sweat or if I drink, it don't come off? And
Mhm.
that's how my company came about, Kalu Cosmetics. So I've been trying to have my hands in like you said, every little thing because basketball can stop like this.
Yep. Yep.
And you definitely got to have a backup plan because you just never know when it's gonna end.
I was I wanna ask you, do you think excuse me, how do you think basketball has affected or changed not excuse me, I'm sorry, that may be the wrong thing I'm asking. How do you think basketball has given you a platform that, for instance, for like, Nigeria, you have
Mm-hmm.
like a lot of people really enjoy what you do and what you're doing outside of basketball. How do you think playing basketball has affected your views and eyes, and people
Mm-hmm.
giving you a platform and stuff? How
Yeah, basketball. Basketball. For some reason, playing the sport of basketball, I've always the type of player I am. I always direct. It's a direct correlation to my life. Like, and sometimes that sucks because I'm very competitive, right? And sometimes that comes into a play in a lot of my life situations. But the game of basketball within itself has definitely affected just my view and outlook on people and on things and decisions that I make in life.
of course.
You never know who's watching. You definitely want to. I've learned you never know who's watching. I've learned you are the company you keep. I've learned um, just like life skills and how to treat people. And I basketball also told me the same mentality I go into my game. I approach that with my other stuff, with the modeling, with my business, with with any other thing I'm doing, whatever I'm doing on the court, go hard the same way I do off the court. Because that hard work and dedication, the same way that same hard work and dedication that allowed me to get that scholarship and go to college and play pro, the same hard work and dedication I put towards my life outside of basketball, it could definitely show that, you know, if you put the work in,
Yeah,
anything is possible.
yeah,
You
true.
know what I mean? And basketball has definitely taught me that, and I'm grateful for it. I really am.
It's dope, man. I'm glad to hear you utilize like that's sick. That's sick.
Thank you.
Trying to transition both is very hard for a lot of people. So
It is.
that's
It
really
is. And honestly, naturally, I think my main reason for wanting a brand outside the court is because everybody just knew me as the hooper. Nobody knew me for nothing else. Like when I told them my mom, they'd be like, "You model for real? But what? I thought you hoop,
yeah, no,
or you like writing, but don't you hoop?" It was always I'm just a hooper.
and it's you're so yeah, yeah, yeah. A lot of
Exactly.
so much more than yeah, yeah.
If I stop playing ball, y'all still gonna remember me.
Okay, you're right.
So I'm like, yeah, I gotta create something where I can give more outside of the sport, and that's how all these extra hobbies and wanting to wear different hats came into play.
I like it. I like it a lot, man. Like you stated probably through your journey, as we know,
Mhm.
life is waves, man. You get a happy wave, you get sad waves. Luckily nothing stays as bad or as good the whole time. It's always.
Mhm.
So, is there any motto or saying you like to help? I mean, that you like to say or tell yourself to help you get through persevering times when things may not be going your way?
Um, It sounds cliche, but I always tell myself, it gets better before it gets worse.
Nice.
I mean, it gets worse before it gets better. Sorry.
It gets better.
Um,
Like that.
and I believe that, in everything, it gets better, it gets worse before it gets better. Like, okay, take basketball for example. I tore my ACL, my first major injury in 2012. I had never had an injury before then. Like I had a minor injury when I was younger, but to have a major injury of that magnitude, and we in college, if they say you take ACL, it's your life supposed to be over. It's over. So to get through that and to be telling myself, you know, it's worse now, but I promise you in a few months it'll be better. I tell myself in every aspect of life. Um, and it definitely helps. It definitely helps outside of basketball. Um, on the court, it definitely helps. And it sounds cliche, but it's the truth. When things are worse, they can't get no worse. It can only if you at your low, if you're on the floor, the only thing you can do is get up.
Yep.
That's it.
Rock bottom.
It's you can't go through the floor. You can't anybody gonna sink you through the floor. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You can just get up. And it definitely gets better. Even if it takes time, it gets better and the reward makes it that much sweeter.
yeah, it does. Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Your work, you see everything you're putting in. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's tough. But listen, this has been an amazing time. I'm glad people got to see a little bit of you,
Yeah.
with a little bit of Ezinne Kalu. In conclusion, is there any advice you like to offer to any young boys, young girls that may resonate or look up to your story? Because as we know, you have a huge platform. A lot
Hmm.
of people are viewing and eyes on you, so you never know. You may change a kid's life. You may change a adult's life. You know what I mean? Is there any
Hmm.
advice out there that you're willing to offer to those people?
Yes. To my young girls, young ladies, or older boys, young ladies, whatever you're doing, just go hard at it. Give 100% hard work and dedication. If you have a dream, fight for it. Nobody's gonna go as hard as you do for your own dream. And just be your authentic self. Stay true to yourself. Never let anybody deter you from your dreams. Never compare yourself to anybody on social media. Everybody has their own time to come, and just stay grounded, stay 10 toes down, and whatever you're doing is gonna pay off in the end.
I love that. I love that. I hope you guys at home, you guys hear that, you guys utilize that, and hopefully you guys follow in Ezinne Kalu's footsteps. Again, thank you
Yes.
for your time.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.